right, so I'm watching some fights. We're sitting there at the UFC. We're front row, and I'm sitting there with the wife, Mrs. Mir, and it's going to be Tito Ortiz versus Forrest Griffin. That's usually the start of a good story, right?
It's a good story if she said that.
So, I'm going to try to tell it right. Well, hold on a second. Mrs. Mir, would you like to come up here and correct me if I sound wrong?
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
All
right, here comes Mrs. Mir.
Yeah.
This is Frank's other half. A big round of applause for Jennifer. You hear us talk about Jennifer all the time on the Phone Booth Fighting podcast. Sometimes you hear her in the background.
So Forrest and I are friends, training partners, work out together. He's fighting. And Tito at the time, I think Tito's great, you know, I mean, whatever. We never had lunch together, but he's did a lot for the sport. I always thought that Dana, was my bitch, was kind of funny, you know. I laughed. I think he's a great marketer, you know, so hey, you know, anybody who pushes the sport forward, we all benefit from. So at the time, he, for whatever fucking reason, he decides to marry a porn star and have babies with her. I'm all for banging a paint store. You know, hey, you know, a blowjob, you know, hey, come on, guys. I mean, it's a porn star, you know. That's kind of cool, but...
I'm with Tito on this.
Right. Right, I'm with you on that part too. You know, like, hey, it's like driving a Maserati. You know, it's cool. The rental car, you don't buy someone else's rental car, right? Who would buy a rental car, right? Like, exactly. Like, I'm not gonna buy the porn star. I mean, she's had some miles on her, and some rubber's been burnt. You know, well, and lack of rubbers. And then not only do you marry a porn star, you marry the most prolific one of our time, right? The busiest one, right? I mean, come on. I mean, anyways, I'm not gonna get to. So, anyways, so. He's fighting Forrest, and she sits down next to us, and Tito has his buddy, is kind of hanging out with her, and they sit down.
You have to say, so it's you're sitting here, I'm sitting here, Tito's friend, and then Jenna and her sidekick,
and so
her friend.
And so they sit down, and right off the bat, like, we look over, and we're like, hey, you know, and so the buddy looks at me and goes, hey, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, we're rooting for Forrest, you're rooting for, you know, Tito. You know, hey, shit happens, we're fighting, it is what it is, we all understand the business. He goes, yeah, and the guy goes, hey, by the way, I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, I'm a big fan. So he already obviously knows who I am, and we've already established that since he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, if this gets physical, he's fucked.
Well, no, hold on. So her and her friend kept going to the bathroom
right, no, I was gonna get to that.
every like 10 minutes,
so
I realized
Jenna,
what
this is the cocaine part.
They must have really had to pee.
Yes. Well, if anybody knows...
Wait for the cocaine part.
Well, this is the cocaine part. If we're all hanging out together and you tell me every 15 minutes you got to go to the bathroom, you know, I'm assuming that you don't have a small bladder syndrome, that we all realize, well, except for a straight edge here, realize that you're doing lines of coke, you know. And so she's coked out, and I worked for many years in a strip club, so, you know, it wasn't a hard
I snorted coke for many years.
There you go. So between Joel and mine's expertise, I was around a lot of coked out whores, so I could peg one when I seen one, right? And so...
so before it started, I knew that there was going to be a problem.
A little bit of an issue.
I told the guy, hey, you know, basically may the best man win, because I knew that they were going to be rooting for Tito, and we were going to be rooting for Forrest.
So the fight commences, and it's a close fight. Tito takes him down, Forrest is going through, so the fight's pretty close, right? Goes into the third round, and Tito completely shuts down. I don't know if you guys watch or remember this fight in particular. Yeah, so this was the last one, the last time they fought each other. In the third round, Tito throws 0 punches, 0 he's just sitting there for like 5 minutes. So it's kind of curious to me. So I'm sitting there, and I'm very much of an analyst at all times of martial arts.
That wasn't bad movement that you just did right there.
Wasn't
I think
too
if
shabby,
you would
right?
have, I think you would have
I had to
with
make it
that
work.
against Mr. Richard, you would have choked him out. But
I know.
go on.
So you said it under your breath.
So I said it just kind of to myself. That I'm like, I wonder if he's hurt. Like, did he break his hand or something? To myself, I'm talking to myself, watching a guy who is completely shut down. And Jill, you've done it, right? You call fights, commentary. You sit there, you talk to yourself, like, I wonder why he's doing that. That's all I said. Like, why? So I said, I wonder if he broke his hand. You know, it makes sense if you stop throwing punches. Maybe you're hurt. Maybe there's something going on that we're not aware of. but I'm curious. I'm
Okay,
just,
this is where I have to take over after this.
So the guy doesn't hear me, and so then
Let
he...
Miss Jennifer in.
I have to take over
so he
after
asks me,
this.
go ahead.
Okay. So you said that. So Tito's friend, I'm innocently sitting like this, watching the fights, and he says, "Oh, hey Frank, what did you say?" And you go, "Yeah, I don't know what's
I didn't
going
even answer.
on."
I didn't hear him.
You guys started
No.
talking
When he
about.
first asked me, that's why you had to answer him, because he first goes, "What did he say?" And I was so encompassed in the fight.
You're
you
going to
answered
lose
for
this
me.
one, Frank.
Yes.
Right.
And then I got you, and you guys started talking
we started
about
talking.
it, right?
Can I ask a question? Is this the blue belt who's doing the, what'd you just say?
Yeah, he did. He goes,
Okay, as a fellow blue belt, let me just say, we know not to say anything. I'd be like, don't,
So
no.
he asked, he goes, "Hey, what did he say?" So my wife goes, "He thinks maybe he broke his hand." So then we're going to go have a start
So
a
the
conversation.
two of them started talking back and forth about it, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it still like pisses me off. All of a sudden, Jenna, who's sitting
The porn star.
where Chael is, and the friend sitting here, she reaches across from behind the guy and shoves me and says, "Quit talking to my," can I say a bad word?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. "Quit talking to my fucking friend. That's my fucking friend. Who the fuck do you think you are? Quit talking. Leave him alone." And then so instantly, like my personality, I can be very aggressive very instantly. So I was thinking, I wanted to punch her in the face, but I'm thinking, okay, you're sitting in the front row. It's my husband's job. We're at his work. His bosses are there. I try to hold myself very, classy and ladylike. So all I could think of, though, I still had to retaliate. So I calmly said, "Why don't you go shoot another porno, bitch?" And then I just looked forward.
Boom!
Oh, no, it
Boom!
gets better. It gets better.
Well, then at this point, I'm still not really aware of what's going on over the top of my shoulders.
No, he's not even paying attention.
I'm watching
He's
the fight. My
for it.
phone's fighting, right? As I'm sitting there and the fight's close, it could go either way. So finally, Jennifer lets me know that
Well, no, yeah, and
you tap me like, "The fuck?" So then I look over. I'm like, "What? And then I look.
You see the movie The Exorcist?
So I
when
look
the
over and I
head's, like,
see Jenna
spinning
Jameson,
and like
whose
green
hair
stuff's
is just
coming
like-
out. Yeah, she
Right?
went ballistic.
Oh, so I'm sitting there going, "Oh, fucking coked out fucking female that's all fucked up. Jesus Christ. What am I going to do, right?" So I'm like, "Aha, I got an idea. Her buddy, I can't whoop her ass, but I can fuck him up. He's a guy, right?" So then I look over at him and I'm like, "Yo, buddy, you need to fucking do something now, right?"
And I'm like, hold on, let me get my blue belt on.
No. so the guy looks at me, and then he looks over at Jenna, and then he looks forward, and he pulls the ostrich. Just he
He didn't say anything.
He just like I'm like, "Dude, you're still here. Just because you close your eyes, you didn't go anywhere. Like
doesn't-
you're here."
He didn't say anything. So she's screaming, and you were getting upset because you just wanted to watch the fight.
Yeah.
You're
So then I was like,
so
"She's
you-
a fucking cracked out whore. What do you? I mean, like, leave
Yeah,
her-
you're all just
ignore
worry
her."
about it later. So we're waiting, and she's screaming at me and screaming at me and screaming at me.
Another home
So
run you
then,
threw?
yes,
Hit?
because then she's screaming, and I'm still pissed off that she shoved me because it's
you.
someone's space.
Can we get back
We
to
don't
the
do
money
that.
line? What did you tell her before?
No,
Then after again, when she was still screaming at me, I said, "You need to pay attention because your husband's fucking losing." So you
That's
need to
not what you said.
What'd I say?
Your husband's getting his fucking ass kicked.
Oh yes, I said you need to pay attention because your husband's getting his ass kicked.
You
then I was
coked out whore.
But no, it gets so after this, after the whole, after
No, so the fight ends, and we stand up, and I'm like, "Jennifer, let's get up. I don't want to have." Because honestly, what am I gonna do if a female then decides to put hands on Jennifer? I grab her. No matter
Nothing.
how this is gonna be written up afterwards, I'm a fucking asshole, right? I grabbed the fucking 100-pound fucking porn star and launched her into the next row, right? Like,
or I did.
it's gonna be ugly.
That's
It's a
what I wanted to
no-win
do.
situation. So there's certain conflicts where you look at it and you go, "Fuck, man. No matter what path I take, this is gonna be shitty tomorrow morning in the
So
news."
we left.
So we get
But
up to
it
leave, like, we're
doesn't
gonna leave, but no, my wife decides to give one more
It
last
doesn't
parting.
end. I know it doesn't end there. I just couldn't get past that she shoved me. I
Get
was
you
so
some,
taken
girl.
back by that and shocked, and I couldn't do anything back to her. If I could have just punched her, then I would have been fine. I could have moved on. But I was still upset about that. So Frank was very upset with me because he was out of town, and that's when Twitter. There wasn't
You jumped
Instagram.
hold on, let's finish how
No,
we
I'm
left.
tell-
When we left there, as they announced for us the winner, my wife makes sure she's like, "Yeah,
fuck yeah.
You were
I
very,
was screaming.
you were
no,
very-
I didn't. I didn't
didn't flip
say.
off, you pointed
I didn't
at her.
flip her off because we were at your job. But I
made sure you.
I didn't do that.
Okay,
I
so then we
didn't do
left.
that. I didn't do that.
So, but though, then my wife decides to not leave this.
So
fucking chick
Frank, I
alone.
know. So Frank
That's why,
it was when there wasn't even Instagram. It was just Twitter and Facebook, I think. And
think
Frank
so.
was out of town. Yes, and BJ Penn was fighting. I think I don't remember. I was sitting there watching the fights with the kids, and I'm on Twitter and we're watching the fights. Well, Jenna, I guess maybe because she started dating Tito, she kind of felt like she knows a lot about fighting, so she was giving her input on Twitter, and that just irritated me.
Some analysis, some fight
She was, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
she. So
Yeah.
I said, there's nothing like a porn star talking about fighting, and I said, well, I guess it is a form of grappling. I said, well, I guess.
What did you say? She goes, it's not like a porn star trying to put their 2 cents on in fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, then you went and go, well, I guess it is a form of. What'd you say it
I
was?
said grappling. I said,
No,
well,
you
I
did
guess.
not say it was a form
what
of
did
grappling.
I say?
You did not.
Foreplay?
She said it was a form of ground and pound.
No, I said grappling.
Boom.
I said grappling. I said, well, I said, why is a porn star giving advice on fighting? And I said, well, I guess it is a form of grappling. That's what I said. And my phone,
We're gonna stick with ground
my
and pound,
phone,
right?
my
I think
phone,
ground and pound's the winner.
my phone.
When I edit this audio, it's going to say ground and pound.
And
Go
I
ahead.
Even, okay, fine. And I think I had a BlackBerry at that time. It shut down. I had every porn star I think in the world.
Yeah, no.
It like my phone. I mean, just
They unite.
They united. Quickly.
Anytime you say porn
they
star, I'm with
bashed
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bashed me. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's what it takes to be the wife of a 2-time world champion. You can't be afraid to take on the world's
Two-time.
most famous porn
Thank
star.
you, Jennifer.
How about a big hand for Jennifer Mir?